Danny wants to know, based on what you have seen from Lucha Underground, has John Morrison improved in terms of his mic work? I wouldn't go that far, and I would caution you in that Lucha Underground is a very tightly produced show. And it's very different to say, okay, here are your scripted lines of dialogue in this backstage segment. We want you to beat up some guy, say a few lines to Dario, and then turn and leave. It's almost like a movie. I said it's shot like a movie, right? What has Morrison been doing a lot of since he left WWE? He's filmed a bunch of movies, and even some online web series stuff. But he was in Hercules. A lot of people may not know that. The Rock was in Hercules, right? What are you talking about? Well, around the same time, a indie level B film was released as a Hercules movie with John Morrison as Hercules, not The Rock. And I watched it. And actually, it was what you would expect it to be. It was very cheesy. The acting and the dialogue were not very good. I enjoyed the action for what it was. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen or anything like that. But I watch Morrison in these movies, and, you know, he's fine, but that's not the same thing as being in front of a live crowd and given a mic and have to go out there and cut a 10-minute promo. We haven't seen that from Johnny Mundo so far. So the little bits and pieces we see of dialogue from him backstage, you can't go by that. I've seen nothing to tell me that he is any better at being a wrestling promo now than he was when he left in 2011. That was always my knock on him. I never knocked his work. I always knocked the fact that he was a terrible promo. He was terrible. Everything sounded forced. Everything sounded phony coming out of his mouth. He sounded like a robot. And I've seen nothing that would prove me wrong. Maybe they'll give him the microphone next week or the week after, and he'll have to cut a promo, and he'll be better. But until I see him, I think, in a live environment with a mic, like on Raw, on a show like that, it's impossible to say. Because, again, this show is so tightly produced, and it's not the same thing. It's like shooting a movie. It's not cutting a wrestling promo. I haven't seen him cut a really good wrestling promo yet, so I would say no.